Hey guys, so we are about to start lesson one. So I will be explaining this sidebar for you, this color palette at this sidebar too. I will explain everything, how to use them. I will explain all this menu right here, and then I will explain majorly some of the things you need to understand before you can get started with CorelDraw. So let's just dive into it. So let me start from here. So this is the page where you can select your documents. You remember what we selected at the time? We selected A4. We can do it right, so we can change to letter. So the sizes will change, this will change. If we change it back to A4, see this thing will change. If you want to change back to inches, this will change. But you can only switch this when you have not when you are not when there is no work on this thing. For example, I come to this A right here. I click something and I type. Let's say I type okay. So let's say I type something. Let's say I type H. So if I'm typing, you see, I won't be able to select the inches again from here right now. So I will just delete this. And I want to select the inches. You see, that means there's no the content on this post. And if there are content on this post page, the section, all you need to do is click outside the workstation, and then you can select your inches back. You can change it to feet, you can change it to inches, depending on the calculation you want to go for. So the landscape, you can change the design to landscape here, stuff like this. So that's how this works. And okay, and this your content. If you highlight the content, the text, right here, this text, you can increase the font size. You can put 10, and to reduce the font size, you can put 30, 300. It increases the font size. If you look at it this way, if I'm reducing this, the content, you see that thing is reducing in form of sizes like that. And the more it increases, the height, the width, and the height will increase. The x-axis and the y-axis will increase. Now what is the x-axis? X-axis is this, and your y-axis is this. Now this thing that I'm bringing out, we use it to like okay, size, to know if our content that we are doing is on a straight line, and you can bring this to down to know if it is on a straight line. To see it very well, you can click on this, zoom. You can so you can click on this and drag, and if you drag it, you can see that what it do, the line, the x-axis line, is not on the it's not on it exactly. So the more you zoom, the more you get to see very well. So let's zoom more on this. So you can zoom again so that you can have accuracy on the line you're trying to draw. Then you can press F3 to zoom back, or click on zoom and click on this zoom minus to go back. You understand? And then another way in which you can, if you zoom and you want to go back again, is to right click like this, right click, right click, right click, and it will zoom back. And another way in which you can zoom out again is to press F4. So F4 will bring out the old text that is on that page, and F3 will keep reducing it. If you press the button F3 to keep reducing, if you press F4, it will bring all the old section right here. So let's just go back to the pages. So to go back to pages, you can, to fit page, you can go back to page, sorry, to page. So to page will show the entire page like that. And this is, and you can take it back to, like, to take it back to portrait. You can click on this so that you can take it back to portrait, and if you click on this to page, to give us the whole page of this. You remember how we bring out this ruler, because we call it ruler. So you can click on this place, this, click on it and drag it down You just need to click on it like this and drag it down, and then it will come. The same way, the same thing you can do here. Click on this place and then drag it, they will come. So these are the ways you can bring out the ruler for your measurement, to know if your content are aligned, to know if your content are straight or if your content are bent. So you can use this ruler to actually know how to set your design right. So right now, so this file, just if you want to create a new document, you can click on this Control N. You remember when I said if you want to launch your CorelDraw, you can press Control N to create a new document. The same thing, that's what it will do here from the file. So if I click Control N, I will have this icon. It will bring out this icon after I click Control N. Or let me cancel this. Or if I click on file, if I click on file and I click on new, so it will still bring me this. So I can edit this, I can change it to, let's say, lesson 2, like that. You get it? So that is how this works. And then you can save from, if you want to save your content, you can, right now if you see this star button in front of your text, it means what you're typing, what you're doing here is not yet saved. To delete this line, you can click on this line and hit delete. And now let's save this content. Control S. Now we press Control S to try to save this document. You can create document and then save your content one. So your content one, immediately this thing is saved, the X will go away. You guys, you see now there's no more X again now, and it's now saved as lesson1.cdr. So click on file. You can click on file. If you don't want to press Control S, you can click on file, then click on save. That's because we have already saved this content. So now let me add something. Let me say let's say lesson 1. So let's say lesson 1, right? So lesson 1, I can click on file. Now you see that save is coming out. So if I click on save, it will save that this thing for me. Now if I want to save it as another name, maybe I want to duplicate this content, I want to save it as another name. I already save it as lesson 1. I can click on file and I can click on save as. So if I click on save as, I can edit this and say lesson 2, like that, and then I can click on save, and then it's going to save as lesson 2. So it will update this lesson. So you can change the name of your content, you can change the name of how you save these documents by using this file. So you can save to cloud. That's the new features that this has, and that if you have a cloud account, you can connect this document to cloud, so that whenever you are saving any document, you can connect this file to cloud. So open recent documents is like okay, when if you click on open, let's say I want to open my previous design that I did. So you remember we saved as lesson 1 before. If I open lesson 1, I will have I had lesson 1 open for me right here. Now this is lesson 2 that we updated. This is lesson 1 that we saved the other time, and it will open new file for us. So the same thing we can do to open recent. So open recent is just like your previous design that you've done, stuff like that. So you can click on this and then it will still open the recent one for you that way. So you can close all the contents that you have here, and then you can save as, which I've explained. So you can acquire image, you can import. So this import means if you click on import, if you have an image that you want to import to your workstation, you can click on import, click on the image, and then bring the image in right here. So the import will do all the work for you. We import the image and then you click where you want the image to be. So immediately you click that, the image will come. So that's how you can import image into CorelDraw. Now this is very, very important because you will need to import a lot of documents on CorelDraw. And another way in which you can do that is open open your file manager, click on file manager, you can go to pictures, and then you can minimize your screen. You can bring this, you can drag this background from here and drag it to the screen, and then the image is still going to come. So this method and that method is still the same thing as importing content. So the export does a lot of things, right? So export gives you the ability to turn your design to images. You can turn it to PDF. You can turn your content, you can save it as Adobe Illustrator AI. We have a lot of options right here. So majorly what we normally use majorly is these three. One, the PDF, AI, PNG, and JPEG. You see this JPEG right here. So you use JPEG to convert your picture to JPEG. You can convert your design to PNG. You can convert your design to PDF using this export. All these we are going to test them out after the lesson. So I'm just showing you what they do. Okay, so like I've said, like I've explained, you can export, you can send your document right here to a Bluetooth device to receive the document that you're working on. You can send it through email, and then you can publish this content to PDF straight away. You see, this export and this publish to PDF, they're almost doing the same thing. So once you click on publish to PDF, this document that you're working on will be saved as a PDF, and you can click on save. When you click on save, you have a PDF document of this lesson too saved on your document. And so that is okay. Print preview is when you want to print from your system to your printer. You can see how it's going to look like using print preview. So print preview is going to show you how your design is going to look like before you can print it. Now, to print this document, connect to your printer, then you will see all these options, document, and blah 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 like that. So print options. So if you click on print options, so it will give you some settings, okay, on which type of printer did you want to use, any printer that your system is connected to. Then you can select how many number of copies you want to print. Documents, you can, okay, you want to print this double document, or you want to print only single documents. So this, you can select the color of how you want the design to come out, the layout, fit to page. You can select fit to page, and fit to page, what it does is whatever your design is going to fit the design to page. As in document, is going to, like, you can see the difference. So fit to page will reposition your design. That's because this design is already fit to the page. So as in document, fit to page mostly allows your design to come out within that paper. You click on apply and you click on OK, then you right click and then you print this sheet now, and then this thing will print out from the printer. So that is what print does. All right, so I think that's all about this file section. And the edit section, okay, we won't talk about edit a lot. So edit is just like giving you options to cut, copy, which you can do. You can copy, which is Control C, right? And then you can do, let's move it, and you can do Control V. Now you see you have copied it. You can move this file, you can move this content you are working on. Once you click on this content, you can move it at the center, right? You can move it from here, but if you point your mouse to this place, that means you want to drag the content. That means you want to increase the content. If you do it from here, that means you want to increase it from here. You want to increase it from here. Now if you drag it from here, that means you want to increase the height of your content like this. You see, now Ctrl Z is telling you to undo. That's to go back. Ctrl Z to go back, and you can do that Ctrl Z right there, undo. You click on undo to still do the same thing. You click on redo, it will take you back to the previous work that you have done. So view. So like you see this ruler, you can disable the ruler option, and you see the ruler right here that I was telling you that you can select this line. You see, because I disabled the ruler now, I am not able to see the ruler again, so that ruler will not be coming. So other things that I need to show you here is the zoom in, zoom out, which I have already shown you how all those things work. So the layout, that is going to be, if you want to insert a page, let's say you want to add one more page, click OK. Now you've added new page. So now that means you have duplicated your page. And another way you can do this is you can click this plus icon to add more pages. You can delete all these pages by right clicking on each of this page, delete the page that you don't need again, right click on it, delete the page that you don't need again. So all right, so this object, so objects are majorly what I will show you some things about this object. We have power clip. So power clip is just allowing you to place content inside a text, and how that works is for example, you have a rectangle to, you have a shape like this, right? Or I have an A like this, sorry, I have an A. I will just click on this right text tool. I have A, right? So this A that I have right here, I'm gonna bold it. Yeah. So now, what does Power Clip does? What Power Clip does is you can take this image, right click on your mouse, and drag it inside this shape. If you drag it inside this shape, just remove your hand from the right click that you used, and then click on power clip. So the picture, the image is going to be power clip inside that stuff. So that's the meaning of power clip. If you double click this content, just double click it. It allows you to enable to edit this design. You can click on finish, and then you see power clip. If you double click it, you see the image extended, or if you finish it, you see that's the end of the clip. Now this will allow you to power clip your content in a CorelDraw. So you can extract this thing that you power clip by right clicking. You right click on this, like you right click on this square, and then extract your content, and then the content will be out be out like this. Now because this one is bringing X like this, that's because you've you will extract something from it. So that's how it's going to be shown to you. Now you can do the same way for this. Pick this image, right click on this image, place it inside, like once you get to this A, and say power clip. So the image is going to be power clipped inside the A like that. You see, this is very great. Like you can see the image is right here. So these are majorly some things like, okay, how did they place Ronaldo picture inside the name of inside CR7? So stuff like that, that's how they work. So if I type anything, let's say all is well, I type this, now all is well. We now take in all the images because I have power clip the images right here. But what we are seeing right here now is that AW that I put here, the remaining black is showing right here. So I can right click on this content so that I can expand the image so that it can cover all this AW, because it only covers from here to here. It's not covering here and here. So if I right click on this place, I can extract the content, and then I can enlarge. I can click on this content, I can enlarge it this way so that it can cover the whole thing, and after that is done, I can power clip it inside. I can power clip it inside this AWC. Now you see, now AW is now full. We see how cool is this, right? So now if you double click this again, sorry, if you double click this content, if you double click this content, if you double click it, like to edit image that is inside. If you double click it, it will not work. But until you hold Control key on your keyboard, hold the Control key and double click this, and then you'll be able to edit this. You can reduce it back, and you will realize that where the image is where the design will just come out from. You click on finish, you see now all the remaining ones are black, and you can double click, hold your Control, double click this, and then expand it again to full everywhere. So this way you can power clip any sort of images that you have in a content, in your text, or in your in a shape. Understand? So that way you can use a power clip to do all of this. So that is that about power clip in CorelDraw. So let's look at another one we can talk about in the object. Click on this text. Let's say object. Okay, now you can lock this content so that this content won't be able to move again. And you see, no matter how much you move it, this content will not move. The only way you can unlock it is click on it and go to object, unlock all, and or you can right click on this text and you can still lock it. So all these ways you can right click on it and unlock it. So this way you can do all this then using the object option right here. So this content you can group it. Let's say this we can Control G to group it, and what does grouping does is if you have two items, if you have two content like this, and you want to group these contents together, these two contents together, so that means you click this and click this together. How do you select these two? You click on AW, then you hold shift and click on this, it will highlight it together. Now you can go to objects, group this item together, because you don't want this item to be selected once. You want the both of them to be selected. Now if you click on Control U, it will ungroup it, and if you ungroup it, that means you can only carry one. Control A to control all, and Control G to group these contents, and then that means you can only move the two together. And this way you can group your text, you can group your text together, you can group objects together, you can group, let's see shape. I have two shape. I Control D to duplicate this content, another Control D to duplicate this content. I highlight everything. If I highlight one, I can move only one. So if I highlight everything, I can group it. If I group it, then I can move them together. But once I ungroup it, Control U to ungroup, I can only move one at a time. So you can use this for shape, for text, anything on the corridor that you want to do. And then let me show you something that is cool. All these boxes right here that you join together like this, if you click on this option, it will join everything together and give you a shape. You see, that's cool. That's because that's the power of this weld. So this you to weld your post together, and then boom. Let's do the same thing for this. Let's ungroup, Control U to ungroup, and put this content together like this. Highlight everything together. You see, we won't be able to do this for this one now, but if it is content shape like this, we'll be able to do that. And then there are a lot of different options in order to form nice design. You can do this. You see, this is different from, so this one is, you see the way it break your content. So you can actually use that one to do this. So let's try another design. Let's click on this and let's do this. You see, now this will give you a shape that are together in the same content. So let's pick all of this again and take this. So you see, different option is what this thing will be giving you. The more you click, the more you use, and it will be giving you different type of options. So I normally use this to form my shape. You see, form different type of shape to just weld it for you and then give you a perfect design. So for now, I will stop here and then we'll continue from here the next time. Thank you for having me here. See you in the next video.